Hey, y'all, welcome back to It's Been a Journey podcast, where we honor resilience and healing and power behind every story. I am your host, Chanel, and tonight we are talking about legacy, representation, and the road less traveled with someone who embodies all three. Look, this is my friend girl, my sister, she was my classmate, y'all, but we're gonna talk about that some other time. Okay. That's something we ain't gonna even talk about in this journey. But listen, she has really, really been an inspiration to us all in our small town, but not just small town, just to young women everywhere, not even considering your color. It just looks good to feel good to have someone that you know living out their dream. And she gave me some good news, and I'm gonna let her tell you about it. But she was born and raised in a small town in Mississippi. Representative Timaka James-Jones broke barriers as the first African American judge of her hometown and is now serving in the Mississippi House of Representatives District 51. Her story reminds us that no matter how small the town, your purpose is never too small. That's Look, that's enough right there that somebody should be going to get their dreams together, dust off that book, and be like, you know what? Let me do what I always want to do. Life is short, things are happening, and I just want to be one of those ones to say, even if I failed in it, I tried. But I will not keep y'all a long time. Y'all already know we keep you for a time, but not a long time. Welcome here tonight, Representative Timaka James-Jones, District 51, here with me on It's Been a Journey to share her journey. Hey, Miss Jones, what's going
Hey, Chanel.
on?
For real? We gonna call me Miss Jones tonight.
Yeah, Mrs. Jones. Come on,
Okay.
come on.
Okay.
Well, it might get on down in there,
All right. All
but
right.
right at the beginning at least.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll take the Representative James
Right,
Jones.
look, this is my friend girl. Look, I could tell y'all something. I ain't gonna even do it out here. I could tell y'all what she did, y'all, and it tickles me every time. We travel together, okay? I'm telling you, once she get behind the wheel, she going. But once it get dark, she know I'm gonna be right there with her, baby. She would say, "You can go to sleep." I'm staying up with you. But I love her. She been there for me. I can't even say just all the ways I am just truly inspired by her. So, Mrs. Jones, Representative Jones, tell them a little bit about yourself for as your class. I guess I'll put that out there since I did start there, but I ended another class, y'all.
That's all
I,
good. It's all good. It's all a part of our journey, right?
that's right.
That's right.
That's
From
right.
from birth to where we are now, it's all a part of our journey. First and foremost, Chanel, I just want to tell you thank you so much. Thank you so much. I just, in preparation of tonight's broadcast, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking like, this sister here got it going on. I'm just, when you started to rep your grind and all of that, it was like, I'm not stopping. I'm gonna push this thing forward. And I just want you to know we are beyond the whole friends, classmates. We are indeed sisters. We've been
Hmm.
sisters for real, for real.
For real, for real.
For real, for real. And so that tie never breaks. But at any
Hmm.
rate, um, thank you so much for having this platform and having me to be here this evening. Looking forward to great conversation. And hey, my mama's Brenda Brown. I can talk all night long. When you probably go off the air and we'll still be talking.
Look, and we can because there have been
And
plenty
we can.
times she has been on the halls at the house. I'm
That's right.
talking about down there in the Mississippi house, and we have said, "Girl, I'm gonna call you back. Just
That's
call me back, girl, because we can." I'm telling you, and we gonna laugh majority of the time.
right.
But I don't.
99%. Then we might cry a little bit, but we're gonna have it all mixed up in there.
We're gonna have it all mixed up in there. But that's what our small town is all about, y'all. So how was it? You know, First off, let me give a shout out to my brother. Okay, the Marvin Jones from the Jackson State. I guess I I had a mom on here last 2 weeks ago. And she was
Uh-huh.
like, "Yeah, I graduated from D." I said, "I know y'all gonna put the extra E on there.
That's it. You
I'm
got
gonna
to
let you
expand
have
that.
that. I'm gonna let you have it.
The
The
Jackson State University.
the
That's it.
Jackson State, the Marvin Jones. Shout out
Yes,
to him. And tell us
yes.
about your children.
Absolutely. So yeah, we are the parents of two beautiful adult girls, and of course, we're so proud of both of my babies. I am, of course, Sylvia is graduating in about 2 weeks with her
Okay,
EDU,
Stevie.
her specialist in education from
Mm.
Arkansas State University. Whoop whoop! I'm so
Whoop whoop.
excited
We call her Fanoon.
for
Okay.
Noon, who's getting ready to go back to school to get her PhD. So soon
Wow.
we'll be calling her Dr. Noon. So we're
That's
excited
it.
about that.
Mhm.
My baby daughter Gabrielle, of course, she graduated from. She has been in the United States Army, served for 7 years.
Mm.
Who is now out of the army and just got a career path going on. She will graduate also from I think it's Park University at North Carolina on May 16th.
Okay.
And so we have two graduations this month coming up in May, and she will have her certification in cosmetology. And so we're excited. I told her,
Oh
just
yeah.
get these edges, baby. Yeah, I need them laid down.
Yeah.
So she is an entrepreneur doing exciting things. But now, I love the kids. But at the end
Right.
of the day, at this point right now, it's not about them. It's about Miss Melanie Rose,
Oh,
my grandbaby. That's Honey's baby. So
give a
I'm
shout out
just,
to Miss Melanie Rose. I'm telling you,
yes, yes. Three going on 53, honey. Yes, ma'am.
she
And
needed
of
a
course,
TikTok.
my beautiful, handsome son-in-law, Taquay. He's not my son-in-law. He is my son.
That's
And
it.
I love him so much. He's a gentle giant, 6'6", dark and lovely. That's it. That's But at any
And-
rate, it's just something. It's an amazing thing going on right now. But
mhm,
as it is with everything, life has its ups and downs. Life be life, and you know.
mhm,
But we just thank God for all things, and just being here, just in everything we do, good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between, on the top, on the bottom, and all the way around. We give
mhm.
him praises and we honor him for all things.
Right. Because let me tell you something. When she said we had one time. I'm gonna go and put it on out here. We did a skit, y'all. We thought we was Brandy and Monica. Let me tell you, I don't care what nobody say. We did that.
We did that. Hey,
We had a,
we need to remaster it one more time. Bring it
we,
back.
we
Run it
did
back.
that. Look, we did that, and then we went to 70s. It was, I think, was it homecoming week?
Uh-huh.
And we you can tell us we weren't Charlie Angels. I had
Mm.
that Mary J. Platinum blonde wig, and she
Ooh,
was Afro. You could tell us nothing.
with the blue eyeshadow, with the blue and the
Right.
silver eyeshadow.
Look,
It
I
was a
know.
lot of fun.
We
Lot
were
of
all down, but let me tell you, I get down now. I'm gonna need some WD-40 to get back
baby.
up.
I ain't getting up, so I ain't gonna fool myself. Not gonna do it.
And
Not
it's
gonna do it.
great. It's great to have those moments. Tonight we're talking about rural towns and you know, the love of your hometown.
Mhm.
People don't understand that in the South, they talk about Mississippi like it's still burning. Like, okay, we don't have no pavements on the road.
Yeah,
Like we
like we
still stuck.
barefoot. Like
Yeah,
we
like we,
barefoot.
but we're not. And some of the best events happen here. Don't look at all the media, the negative media. That's every city have a principality in that city if you really want to know. But
Yes.
when you come to Mississippi, first thing they're gonna ask you who your people.
Hmm. That's right.
Uh, are you good people? They're gonna want to know that because they're gonna know your car when they come to town. Now that's in a
Exactly.
small. They're
That's
gonna,
it.
but they are so hospitable. So growing up here, before we even get into our questions, um, tell us a little bit about your hometown.
Belzoni, Mississippi. the heart of the Mississippi Delta, the catfish capital of the world, the home of Pine Top Perkins, Denise LaSalle, and Paul Wine Jones, just to name a few.
Oh, Paul.
The honored home of the Reverend George Lee, the
Mm.
first name to be listed as a martyr in the Civil Rights Museum of Alabama,
Mm.
Belzoni, Mississippi. And if you from here, you know to say Belzona. If you from
Belzoni.
somewhere else, they say Belzoni.
Belzoni. Right.
The place where I was born and raised,
Mm.
born right out there on CCC Road at what's now no longer there, what we call the new hospital, because at that time Belzoni actually had two hospitals. We had the
Mm.
new hospital out there on CCC Road, and then we had the old hospital that was on First Street. So I was one of the first babies to be born in Belzona, one of the few that were born right out here in Belzona, Mississippi. Now I wasn't born on the floor like some of my other cousins
Right.
uh, over here on Church Street, but I was born in that hospital, and for the most part, never left. You know, the
Mhm.
only time that I've been away from Belzoni for a little while was when I left to go to where the Jackson State University. And then I came on back. But growing up in a small town, you realize how close knit everybody is. You mess around, we talk for too long to anybody, you'll find out that's your cousin.
Right. Say it again.
Um, but the thing about it is, you know, with that circle and that respect, you you learn to be closer than you've ever been before.
Mhm.
The respect, the love, um, just the whole camaraderie of being, you know, together in our community. Um, for the most part, we can say this entire county is almost like one city. So it didn't matter if you were from Silver City, Louise, Midnight, Isola.
I
We
saw.
all went to one school, you know, so
Mhm.
everybody went to one school, so we were all one love. Um, Now, of course, we part ways on some other stuff, but for the most part, better not nobody come up against the folks from Humphreys County, aka
That's it.
so because we all, you know, linked together. But it was a joy. I grew up in an alley, and I mean
Mhm.
that. I grew
Mhm.
up. My address was 512 Church Street Alley. Um, and so I call myself an alley cat, but it's
Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
I'm proud to wear those stripes.
Right.
Uh, Everybody knew everybody. Everybody still knows everybody here. Of course, with time, most folks stay now in the house more than before, but back then there were probably 75 kids within the circle of the block, and everybody played at our house because we had a huge side yard where people could play, you know, kickball, and then right next door, folks played basketball. But it was the joy of a small town. Like you mentioned before, every family knew of every family, and
Right.
um, it just fostered the sense of trust, unity, and just knowing that with all of that comes the whole covering of love. It's about the love. I wouldn't change a thing. I would not change a thing. I would not. There was not a single day of regret, other than when Chet the dog got loose on that chain down Church Street Alley, and I was trying to act like I was big and bad. Now that was the only day of regret that I probably would have had,
Right.
because Chet was a German Shepherd dog, and Chet would run us, and so I just thought that it was all about me, you know, trying to wolf a dog. But that's it as far as regrets. But
Right. And,
uh,
and they don't understand that whatever happens in a small town
mhm,
affects the whole town.
the whole town.
The whole town, because some way, like you said, we are connected to each other.
Mhm.
So if something happened over cross town, which is 5 minutes, maybe walking,
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
affects us on this side of town because there's somewhere we intertwine, whether it's family, friends, classes, some
Church.
way, church. Because look, we had them church. We gonna have that
Mhm.
Holy
Mhm.
Ghost stomp down singings, okay?
Mhm. Mhm.
And it does. So, what values was instilled in you early on that are still you still hold on to today?
Well, one of the things that I that that's very dear to me is just really the golden rule. It's really the golden rule.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I pride myself in treating others the way that I like to be treated. And so with that, that's all about that RESPCT,
Mm-hmm.
respect. Even though I serve in several positions, elected positions, um, sometimes you see folks doing what I consider to be kind of crazy stuff, you
Mm-hmm.
know, social media beef back and forth and um, ridiculousness going on. But at the end of the day, I realize uh my mom probably wouldn't be very proud of me if I did silly stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
my thing about it is that my mom always made sure that she told us to respect one another. Respect one another, respect other
Mm-hmm.
people's space, respect other people's time, respect other people's opinions and
Mm-hmm.
differences of opinion. Um, just and then have respect for yourself. She would always say, make sure you pull that skirt down. You don't want
Mm-hmm.
all your hope tail out. Um, and so though that thing of respect. And so when you respect a person, you find yourself not doing stuff that's ridiculous. Some of the things that we see going on in American politics these days, it's almost like how you how can you serve in this capacity
Mm-hmm.
and you on Facebook or Instagram or whatever cussing folks out, mimicking people that have unique abilities, like
Mm.
like the folks that we have representing us on a federal level. Um, so it's that's to me is the basis of it. Keeping the respect one to another, and like I said, every single day when I'm at that Capitol, we might disagree on policies, we might disagree on pathways to policies, but at the end of the day, I will respect you and I will expect you to respect me. And
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't matter who it is. I don't care if you uh, uh, the president of China.
That's right.
At the end of the day, we're still human and we're still individuals with feelings, with heart, and it's a way to do everything.
Right.
That's another thing. It's a way that you do what you do.
How do you once you come out of there? Like, how do you release that thing? Because some of that stuff stay on you. You be at home like, if I could just pluck somebody. How do you release that emotion when you walk out of there, especially when you're on a fight for your own area? For people that really right now is being shoved, like you said, with special needs, with
Mhm.
not in a certain bracket. How do you come home and rest with that?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Year one, it was so tough. It was so
Mhm,
tough. Um, I'll tell anybody. Um, Politics is not for the faint of heart. For real, for real.
mhm,
Um, Trying to, especially on the in serving in the House of Representatives, you got 121 other representatives not to mention staff and your senators and others that are a part of um, state businesses. I'm telling you, sis, it was so bad. I'm in a little bit of recovery, but like my face was just welted last year.
Mm,
Um, I actually, most of the time they say when you go to the Mississippi legislature, you pick up your freshman 15, just like college, because
mhm,
lobbyists want to take you out, wine you and dine you, whatever, whatever. I actually lost weight because it was so stressful.
mm.
Wanting to make sure that you just get it right. Uh,
Right.
and not only just get it right, but you want to be able to fight for, you want to be able to have conversation for bills to be passed, for legislation to be passed, resources to be sent back to your community. And you're talking with people and they looking at you stone faced like, what? Why? What? What are you talking about? I'm not hearing you. And you're trying to figure out that one way to break through.
Mm,
It can be very tough. Um, Year two has been much better,
good.
much better. I can say that because at least I know what a bathroom is now. I know what a restroom is, and I think people because it was our freshman year, all of us we were learning each other, trying to get a feel of each other. We can now have really, really candid conversations about, different projects and legislation that we want to get passed. So this year has been much better. Also, too, last year, the first year of your term and tenure, it's
Mhm.
considered to be a long session. So it was like 120-day session. The second, the third, and the last year are 90-day sessions. So time seemed to have gone by really, really fast. Uh,
Right.
but it can be tough. But when I get from the Capitol, thank God I have such a loving husband who has really, really been by my side. I mean, every single step of the way. I mean, from running my bath water when I got home to cooking to cleaning to washing, and that gives me a real peace that at least I know that he has my back. Not to mention my mom,
Mhm.
my daughters, my family, my church family having understanding when I'm not there at church to say, okay, we got your back, sis. We know what you're doing.
Mhm.
Those things give me peace and solace. Um, it's been kind of bad on the sister's eyes because I read so much. I don't think I read this much K through 12 that
Right.
in these past 2 years. But reading and just kind of taking a moment to sit in my backyard and grab a glass of wine and just mellowing
Just
out.
because most people think that you go in there and y'all do this debate and they got they 50 cent. I'm gonna take that back. They got they 2 cent that they want to put on what you doing, what you're not doing. What they don't realize the emotional toll that you're taking because you have not just speaking for yourself but for a whole district.
Absolutely, 25,000 people.
25,000 people. And teachers get upset with 25 students. You see what I'm saying? And parents get upset with 2 kids in an 8 bedroom house. I'm just saying.
Mhm.
I ain't talking about my house, y'all. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So when they see that, what are some of the challenges did you face, even dealing with your own people in your district, not just the ones that you're dealing with across the house floor. I mean, right there within your own community.
Mhm. Well, just of course to share with the audience, and I'm sure you know, just
Mhm.
a little bit about myself. Years and years ago, probably starting back in 1999, um, I began this journey into my political career.
Mhm.
I was appointed as the Southern District Justice Court judge and ran for office and won. So a lot of people still call me Judge, and some folks call me Judge Judy. And that in itself was pretty different because I was pretty young back then. I'm still young now.
Yeah, you still
But
young.
it's all mental. Youthfulness is mental. But I was a younger person with a new experience, and it can be tough because at the end of the day, everybody that's probably going to be in your courtroom,
Mhm.
and so you had to learn to. Well, I had to learn to um, keep personal, and find that delicate balance between personal and professional, because um people sometimes think, oh, so she's a judge now. She thinks she all of that, and
Mhm.
she's not gonna be the same person. We only have one grocery store, and so I'm in the grocery store. Sometimes I probably would go in the store just trying to make sure that I keep my mind on my grocery list, and I don't see somebody, and the first thing folks were saying, "Oh, she can't even speak now." Those kinds of things were those were a little bit touchy, and I had to go back and find myself saying, "I'm so sorry." I think I used the word my apologies, and I'm so sorry, probably more than the average bear, because you will be, you know your mind will be somewhere else, and
Right.
folks will be talking with you. Just having enough time
Mhm.
was definitely a challenge. And then after I was a justice court judge, I ran for the circuit clerk and county registrar.
Mhm.
Being the county registrar is the person that will be sending all these jury summons across the entire county. So it was tough for me to go to the grocery store then again, because all of my jurors are being there like, well, why are you sending me this jury summons? Or
Right. Like,
it was election time, their name not on the poll books, and for whatever reason, no fault of the clerk, they thought it was my problem, and I would have to, explain to folks as to why their name might not be on the poll book and whatever. But just the fact that most people know you and they're comfortable with approaching you, that can definitely be a double-edged sword.
mhm.
My husband and I, we've always been the party type. Our house is always open. Most folks know that they can come here. And it can be their first time visit. I tell them all the time, take your shoes off, prop your feet on the end table. That's fine. Uh, but then at the same time, if you don't do that for everybody that
Right.
hadn't even come there, folks will sometimes say, "Oh, well, she got this circle," and I'm saying to myself, "No, I don't have a circle. Just come on in. Just don't stand over there. Come on in. It's all good. We're gonna enjoy you just the same."
Mhm.
So just the fact, from I know that from being the justice court judge into becoming the circuit clerk and county registrar, just the fact that I had to differentiate my and keep my personal and my professional. That
Mhm.
was the biggest challenge. But other than that, I really can't say that things were really tough, because
Right.
of the way that I always had the approach of handling things.
Yeah, because like you were saying, the gathering spots, you know, they know Jones gonna DJ. We just talking about at home type stuff, and it's good to have a representative that's good in the community.
Yes.
And then the ones that kicking against the bricks are the ones that ain't even trying to write a piece of paper or a letter or help you even try. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just,
Mhm.
I'm just.
Mhm.
It's a podcast. Say whatever I want to say. But you know what I mean? They're just straight
Yeah.
up, and that makes it hard for you to do your job.
Mhm.
So when you come against those critics, I mean, that's not even coming positive. That's not even lifting a finger, but constantly lifting their voices to come against whatever you. What do you say to them?
You know, there's this saying. Um, I don't honestly. I have no response for negativity. I
Hmm.
really don't. I've had a couple of people, not a whole lot, but a couple of people that's always had those things to say. Marvin Jones this and Tamika Jones that or whatever. Even when we were doing things such as hosting the Juneteenth celebration, we went in with one of our already local leaders, Miss Helen Sims. Every year she would have this beautiful Juneteenth celebration, and the only thing we wanted to do was join in, and she welcomed us with open arms.
Mm.
Well, Miss Sims welcomed us in, and we're doing these great things, but you had these outside people that would be trying to, have something to say. Um, Miss Sims and I was like, you know what? We ain't even hearing that noise. We're gonna do this thing, and we're gonna keep doing this thing, and y'all can keep as we said back in the '90s. You can keep bumping your chops. We're gonna keep pushing. I
Right.
don't entertain the negative, but like I said, the old saying, "I can show you better than I can tell you," so I ain't
Hmm.
got to worry about foolishness. I'll just let you watch me. And watch us grow. Watch
Right.
us grow. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was first Thursday.
Yes. You remember
Bringing,
First Thursdays? We're
yeah,
bringing
yeah.
it back. We're
I'm
bringing
gonna
back First
perform my
Thursday.
song. The song I wrote with Harmony. I'm putting it out there. I'm performing it. I'm getting it out of there. My little great nephew like, sweetie, when you gonna perform this song? I said I'm
Yes.
gonna do it.
Well, we're gonna
I'm
give
gonna
you
do
a venue to do that. First Thursday, of course.
first
First
Thursday.
Thursday, it stopped due to COVID. But
Mhm.
you know what? It's been on the request for popular demand. We got to bring back First Thursday.
Yeah, because it's a good fellowship, especially with everything that's going on. I
Mhm.
know, like even in my family, we have lost pioneers. I mean, back to back to back to back, and those moments, Juneteenth, celebrating that, just being African American, but just having the gathering,
Mhm.
to see people that you don't see all year, because some people
Mhm.
don't even come out, or 79% work out of town.
That's right. That's
So
right.
this is where we about to get into now. Like what you doing up there, in the house. So what are some of the key issues you're passionate about and fighting for, especially for the small town that we come from?
Well, Chanel, you know, and I know, honestly, on everything, y'all, this, some people can say I had this long time passion and dream to, be a legislator or whatever, whatever. I honestly cannot say that. I honestly cannot say that. Um, I think that I was pretty comfortable being a circuit clerk and county registrar. Um, I was okay as far as the professional career, um, trying to make sure that I could do all that I could, excuse me, for my community as it relates to the duties and responsibilities of that job and position. But Chanel, you know that when tragedy happens, what is it? This saying that says we have to take um, our passion and we can then develop policy. But after seeing and knowing what happened with Harmony and Harper, um, my whole thought just changed. You think I I can't really describe it, but when you came to the board of supervisors meeting and you were so passionate about the request for resources and funding for us to have a hospital or emergency care after what happened with Harmony and Harper, and how you were essentially, this is to me,
Mm-hmm.
it was almost like you were shunned, like, okay, um, we don't have time for this. It's nothing we can do, and let's just
Mm-hmm.
move forward. That burned me from the bottom of my feet to the top of my head. The only way I can describe it is that there was this burning in me, and I was like, no, mm-mm, this cannot happen this way. And I knew that the only way that I could find a way to help and assist the board of supervisors, who are our county government, the only way that I could help them was to get in the trenches with them.
Mm.
The only way to do that was to figure out where the where the resources are, where the funding is, and how we can County.
Mm-hmm.
And I prayed about it for a long time because my predecessor, the Honorable Rufus Pete Straughter, was an amazing statesman. And I say that with a great heart. Um, Mr. Straughter was truly one that we knew would fight for the cause. But there was just not enough fire for me
Mm-hmm.
in this journey. And my thing was, we need these results, and we need them now. Not 10 years down the line, not 7 years down the line, but we needed to get this ball rolling like ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
So because we had no emergency care, no urgent care, you, my sister,
Mm-hmm.
Harmony, my niece, Harper, my grandniece, that was a fire. That was a fire to say, you gotta do something.
Right.
And that was my passion for running for Mississippi House of Representatives.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's people don't understand that day that we went into that board meeting. I was so nervous. I had prayed about it, but it was everyone was there because you just do not understand how the vine reached out. Like we're family, but it wasn't just that. Like friends was there and everyone showed up and our husband at the time and everyone was there and it wasn't like we was going there to just bombard, but we was going there to say this is what's important. And y'all, I had her obituary. I gave that out as my itinerary
That's right.
because it
Mhm.
wasn't, I wasn't there to fight for her because she's already gone. I was there to show I don't want your baby on here.
Absolutely.
All because you need a space. And to have that, sorry y'all, have that be the fire. Cause I never knew. I never knew. I just was like, you said, I said, go on, girl, just do it. But it's y'all don't understand so much happens that you don't even know how it affects other people. And for you to be in the position that you are right now to take the fight on outside of your community, I applaud you for that. Because most people will sit there and be like, I'm just gonna sit and I'm just gonna do it this way. Well, let me tell you, well, if this looking like it's stagnant here, I know. Let me go a little further. And I applaud you for that. I didn't know that, but I thank you. I thank you because you're doing an awesome job. She got me a chance, y'all. We talking about some stuff now. I'm trying to not get emotional. She got me in rooms that I didn't think. I've been up to the house. I've been there, and we had meetings. And I'm telling you, you don't have to show everything to everybody. You just need when the results happen. And that's what you are about. And I thank you so much. So, what do you believe small town across Mississippi and the South need the most right now? Economically, educationally, even emotionally. What would you say we need down here?
Well, definitely. When we look at the surface of things, we think, oh, well, I hear people all the time is running for a political office. We need jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need jobs, but also when you talk about emotionally and mentally, we got to be prepared to take on the jobs that may come this way. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Why would we have someplace like Nissan or Milwaukee Twos or someplace like that to come, and it's tremendous turnover.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to prepare ourselves um, in our small towns, our schools working in conjunction with our leaders to make sure that students are prepared, not necessarily for um, I don't want to say um, mediocrity. I don't want to say that, but we want our students to excel in the highest way.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that's engineering jobs, whether that's forklifts, or whatever position it is, we want students to be trained for technical advances, uh, um, just well skilled. But we also want our schools to provide pathways for whatever career for our babies. Small towns, sometimes to be honest, we'll kind of get ourselves in ruts
Mm-hmm.
with the mentality. So, so when I say we, that means you, me, all of us.
Mm-hmm.
We have to find a way to have um, to be the shining light. To say we're not going to be stuck in this mindset about being okay with just kind of standing around on the corner.
Right.
You know, any given day, I will say, and I've done this, and this is not a boastful moment, but my husband and I have said, let's just figure out something we can offer our young men. So
Mhm.
whether it's taking someone to go, young men will say, Miss Jones, I need you to hook me up. Can you give me change or something? Tell you what, let me ask you this. You got your driver's license on you? Because I'm about to, do something. You got your driver's license? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I don't have it. I tell you what, be at this same place tomorrow.
Mhm.
Be dressed. And I'm going to take you to Greenwood so you can at least get you an ID card
Mhm.
so that we can get you on a pathway to doing something that's going to be beneficial and that's going to be helpful to you later on.
Mm.
So I've got to find more people that will do that.
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes in a small community, um, We just gotta find things to keep people, mentally engaged. So whether it's the first Thursday, giving them a mental break
Mhm.
for just a moment, a lighthearted moment, giving them an opportunity to dance, giving them an opportunity to be with us, knowing that they can say, "Well, I know my legislator.
Right.
I can call her anytime I need to figure out what's going on." Something as simple as, believe it or not, um, having your phone number available to your community
Mhm.
and knowing that you will answer the phone if folks call. To me, those are tremendous differences. Staying connected to your community. Those are, to me, some of the more positive uh, um, opportunities for our community. I think, I truly believe uh, those are things. Now, as far as one um, challenge over the other, I really don't know. I'm gonna be
Right.
honest. I don't know how to answer that,
Mhm.
um, because to me, everything is equally important. Whether it's making sure that children or young people have every opportunity educationally, whether it's our workforce community having opportunities to have jobs. I just think it's all of it. I don't know how to separate them,
Right.
honestly.
Yeah, because they do intertwine. Because if you're lacking money, your your emotions are over. And if you don't have the
Because there ain't no
education,
money, it ain't no honey.
right? And then if you're not educated, you can't do anything but become president. I'm just saying, okay, you don't need a degree for that. I'm just, so hey, we looking small, y'all. We need to go up there and run for president.
Right,
I mean, that's
right.
the only way they ain't gonna ask you for 500 things, and then you got to go and talk to the person on the phone. And after you talk to them on the phone, you got to go have a meeting with a panel. After you had a meeting with the panel, then you got to meet the supervisor. Oh, yeah, because I told him by the time I get to the panel time, I said, why can't I just go and get the job? We'll figure it out. If I stay 90 days, I'll come in.
For
you know,
real,
but
boy.
if not, I'm just I'm going and put my bid in, independent, run for president.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, yeah, it is it's amazing that we can have these conversations. It's a learning experience for me.
Mhm.
I constantly try to I'm trying to grow myself in this space so that I can be, um, better for my community. In the fact that I am in this position,
Mhm.
it allows for Humphreys County to grow, for this district to grow. So whether it's Humphreys, LaFleur, um, Holmes, a portion of Holmes County, which includes Chula and Kruger, Yazoo, we're all in this fight together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and so we're definitely trying to find a way that we can collaborate with partners in bringing growth and development. Um, I see so many opportunities, but I guess in this learning process, I'm trying to figure out how to streamline things
Mhm.
and of course, as a legislator, I do not have an assistant. So I'm trying to figure out how to navigate this road to have all of these tentacles, but at the same time be effective in becoming a legislator and being a legislator, because it's not just about policy making, but it's about community development as well.
Right. Because I know we have, how can those of us who are no longer living in the community Be a resource. Uh,
Craig, oh goodness.
we-
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Shout
Oh
out
man.
to you.
Thank you
I'm gonna
so
have to
much.
get him on here. That's your official invitation. Be looking
There it
for it.
is right there. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Thank you so much, Craig. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So that's a part of this learning, this journey that I'm learning how to connect with other partners and to forge this pathway. Um, People like you, Craig, and this amazing work that you are doing and that you have brought to Humphreys County. It is our partnership and collaboration, that we can grow Humphreys County. You already, I've had a chance to work with you a little bit over these past couple of years with Frankie's Kitchen. And so to have the opportunity with other partners, this will be our this will be our chance to have as many members of the community to be brought to one table to figure this thing out. I'm working with a group together, um, together with Hope. Um, we can start. We've already started streamlining to figure out what's needed at the top or at the bottom to build this monument for um, Humphreys County. We can do it. We
Hmm.
can do it. When I figure it out, I'm gonna say, "Hey, I need you, and you." So we can. Matter of fact, we're gonna figure this out together. I put it like this: we're gonna figure this thing out together. Chanel, you and your voice with live streaming, with Craig and his connection to his resources, with all these other entities, whether it's through lobbyist programs or whatever, with the school district. I serve on the community engagement council with the school district, partnering with the schools, partnering with the churches, partnering with folks that have gone away and got access to resources, bringing them back. We're going to do this. We're going to do this.
Oh yeah, because I'm gonna tell you, I don't know about nobody else county. Now I'm a harp on mine. Okay. We have some amazing people come out of our county. Okay. I'm talking to y'all all the way in Maryland and everywhere because this is streamed everywhere.
Yes. Yes.
Down south, we have, I'm just gonna say down south, down here in Mississippi, where people, think it's not, it is. There are some amazing people doing amazing things, maybe in other states
Mm-hmm.
with the population is, but I'm telling you, if they do like my brown sisters and brothers and bring it back home, there's nothing we can't do here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I told them when I lived out towards on the East Coast, I was like those people, my auntie. Let me get my coolers because the meat ain't the same. Okay. It's just fresh down here. I
Yes.
just gotta put it out there.
And Chanel, I have this vision for our county, especially Humphreys County. I have
Mhm,
this vision that we will we're going to grow. We're going to
mhm,
grow. We have this opportunity right now in the of rebuilding from Silver City, Humphreys County. And through this program, the president of the United States at that time, of course, was President Biden, and of course, with the work with Congressman Benny Thompson and our other senators, we are going to see advancements in Humphreys County like you've never seen before. So
yes, ma'am.
whether that's rebuilding downtown Belzoni, our county seat, whether that's revitalizing the county courthouse, it's going to be an opportunity for us to rebrand ourselves. And with that, it will foster pride in all of our people. And so with pride, we know that folks will have a different vision than they see now. We don't want folks to think that all things are dismal,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not. Uh, it can be kind of bleak from the onset, but that's just right here at the tip of our nose. As
Mm-hmm.
far as our hand reach and our arms reach, we know that there are going to be uh, greater opportunities for us. I
Yeah,
know
it
it.
is.
I
Yeah,
see
it is. Because we can only be on the bottom so long. And I always tell people, when they talk about Mississippi being on the bottom, I say, yeah, but the strong is holding you up.
it. Absolutely.
If you ain't got a firm foundation, if you ain't got the agriculture that we have here, if you ain't have the resources that's down south, what's gonna hold you up?
That's right.
You know, and I feel it because I see it. And one thing too, Representative Jones, that I feel like we have to do not just on the natural level, on the spiritual level, we have to speak life into our community.
Oh, say it, sister. Say it,
How
sister.
everything is detrimental coming out your mouth about your town. If
That's
you
right.
want it to flow, the Bible said life and death lies in the power of the tongue. The ones that love shall eat the fruit thereof. If you
That's what it
casting
says.
curses on your
Yes.
place,
That's
curses is what it be until somebody buying them things. But if you two or three touch and agree shall be in the middle. Two or three touch and agree can cause some things not to happen.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
Even when the people didn't trust in Jesus, he said, ain't nothing I can do here
Mm,
because of their unbelief. So if
that's right.
God is blessing you with representatives and people that love you enough to fight for you when you don't even know how they're fighting, when their emotion, their health, this
That's
not just you drive. I mean, you traveling, you know, fighting for a community. That's when you beg and you pray for your community. You speak life over your community, your fruit, love, peace, joy over
mhm.
your community, and watch how it flourishes. Because that this I'm just passionate about. I love my cow.
That's right. I do too. I
So
do too.
how can we say that's just like how can we say we love, but the first thing is you down in it.
Mm, mm, hmm.
Yeah.
So whether it's you know joining in with our city and county leadership to put up one string light at a time,
Mm-hmm.
one light post at a time, planting one hedge at a time. We can do this. We can do this. Um, I know that there are so many partnerships with like Mississippi State. I mean, and then these are opportunities that other organizations are just looking for. And here we are. We can say we're here. We're
Mm-hmm.
open. Come on, come see us. And if you give us an opportunity, we're going to make it worth your money. We're going to make it
Mm-hmm.
worth your time. We're going to make it worth your energy. We can
We're
do
gonna
that.
make it. Yeah.
We can do
So
that.
for the young men and women that's out there, what would you tell them about the power of their voices and their journey? Because everything, most times, even in elections, they go over the heads of the 18 to 30-year olds most of the time. And I was talking to someone in the barbershop. I was like, are you even talking to the ones that just start voting? Do they feel like they matter? So what would you say to empower them to say you do matter? We need you for this community because everybody can't leave.
Right.
But the ones that's there got to believe in them being there so much that it grows, and the ones that left bring it in, like my brown sisters and brothers that take it across their wall. Okay, they got a system. I'm just saying.
That's
The
it.
truth is the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a system.
Yes. Yeah. So I still say, you know, watch for for me personally, say
Mm-hmm.
watch me.
Mm-hmm.
Not only watch me, but watch you know Marvin is in leadership. You're in leadership. Um, but this is the thing. I tell people all the time, and I know this might sound a little bit cliche, but follow your passion.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was really, honestly, I can say it was my passion. It is my passion for the journey that I'm on right now in this position as a legislator. The passion was and is we've got to get urgent care and emergency care for Humphreys County, Mississippi. Follow
Mm-hmm.
your passion. If you know that your thing is baking cakes, bake those cakes, honey. Start out at the house. I remember Annie's Sweet Shop starting on Harvey Street.
Mm-hmm.
I remember her going in the gallon size cookie, putting her cookies in an ice cream gallon container and selling them in Ziploc bags until she
Mm-hmm.
got to Annie's Sweet Shop. So that's just one example.
Mm-hmm.
Just follow your passion. Whatever it is that you desire to do, let no one and nothing stop you. Um, I don't know if I had a chance to share this online or
Mm-hmm.
not. But I tell my husband, I think I did things kind of backwards in a way, in the fact that I served as the justice court judge first,
Mm-hmm.
and then as the county registrar and circuit court clerk. So I dealt with legal services, and now as a legislator, where I'm actually writing laws. Until in coming days, we're praying that we're going to start law school. I'm 50 plus. And then this is the thing. My husband says, I'm going to. So we're going to be 55 plus years old going to law school. But it's
Mm-hmm.
okay, because if you want to do it, just do it. Like Nike says, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone that has a desire, just take a step out there and follow your passion, follow your dream. If you want to be a rapper, and you can be 50 years old and a rapper, just do it. Just do it. Whatever it is that you want to do in your life, just take the time, make a plan, and follow through with it. Just make the first step in getting your action started. Start to study. I'm prepping for the LSAT, so just like I said, just make the jump. As Nike would say, just do it. Just do it.
I tell you, look, I'm gonna yield the floor to you because that is, I tell people, like Chanel, um, you just do stuff. I'm like, nah, nah. It
Mm-mm.
takes a minute to get myself together because I'm a researcher. I'm going
Proud of
this
you.
I'm doing now. I researched for 2 years.
I'm
I was like, let me make sure this, and I still didn't have the logistics. And the Lord was like, push play. The Lord
That's
like,
it.
like
Just
you
do
done
it.
read enough and you done looked at YouTube enough. Until
Just
you
do it.
push play, you ain't gonna learn. Learn as you go.
Learn
And
as you go.
yeah, that's important. We got to learn as we go.
Yeah.
So, is there anything coming up that you would like the audience to know about? Anything that you want to put on their minds to be on the lookout for? I know there's an election coming up in, I think everywhere mostly, where you have what your mayors
Your general
and your
elections.
general election.
Mhm.
So, uh, tell them how important it is
Oh wow.
to be a
Mhm.
part. I know they said it, and if y'all saw me looking, I got these monitors, this phone. trying to make sure I share and don't miss anyone that's saying anything. So tell them how important it is. I know they hear it all the time. Your vote matter, your vote this, your vote that. Somewhere it's still a disconnect.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's still some old way of thinking
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah. First, uh, leadership has to take accountability. We have to do our diligence in the, continuing the conversations about the importance of elections. We must do that. I think I just had a conversation that was just last week. Some folks think that, oh well, it was November the 5th, and we probably won't talk about elections anymore. No, elections, that's a conversation that we need to be talking about almost constantly, because we know that that's your leadership. So whether it's the local level, the state level, the federal level, we need to be talking about how important it is to serve on jury duty, because if you don't serve on jury duty, they can take your name off the voters roll. Um, how important it is to make sure you have photo ID, because if you don't have your photo ID, you don't get an opportunity to cast your regular ballot.
Mhm.
So all of these things loop one into the other. When you're moving from one place to the next, to talk about making sure you update your address at your local clerk's office, because all of that loops into the elections process. But it's utterly important because your leadership matters. Your voice matters, because if your local leadership doesn't look and is not performing the way you expect them to perform, you vote them out of office,
Right.
you vote them out of office. How important is a vote? In 1995, the first Black chancery clerk was elected to office by one vote.
Mm. Yeah.
And the chancery clerk served in that position for 25 years
Mm-hmm.
to represent this county. So when folks say my vote don't count, each and every one does actually count.
Mm-hmm.
But also, when your leadership is having town hall meetings, go share your concerns. Let them know how you feel. Because trust me, we're listening. Sometimes we might not respond the way that you expect us to respond, but we're listening, we're reading, we see, we know, um, and we know that we have to be held accountable for that, for
Right.
all things that we do. Um, if you had not registered to vote, please do, please do. It is truly your vote, your voice. Second of all, and really this is the first thing, it is a right. There
Mm-hmm.
have been lives lost, bloodshed
Mm.
for this opportunity. And we owe it. We absolutely owe it to our ancestors to keep what's so pridefully ours. And that's our opportunity to uh, to vote. It's been said, and I'm a person for cliches. If you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. That's
Mm-hmm.
real.
That's
If
real.
you don't use it, we're gonna lose it. And that's a right to vote. And
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be a very sad day, because we know that there are folks that are working really, really hard to take away your power. If it was not with the power then we wouldn't have folks that are constantly trying to find obstacles to keep you from voting. You know, voting should be a holiday, as far as I'm concerned. In fact, that's going to be a part of my uh, legislative bill for next session. Elections should be holidays so that your voice can be heard. Um, we know that this is what God has given us. He has given us this democracy so that we can definitely choose the leaders that we want for us. And when the leadership is not doing what we expect them to do, we can always continue to fight and to change whichever direction this is going. Typical example, look at the city of Belzona. The city of Belzona has just elected a new mayor. Well, a new Democratic nominee, should I say. And definitely at the end of the day, still a new mayor, because we know that, you know, we're looking for the very best for our community. So, how do we do that? We select the leaders of our choice. Um, and so, we're looking forward to the leadership working, and I know that they will, because uh, they've already shown themselves to be uh, in leadership roles. We're looking forward to having the very best opportunities that we can have for our communities. We're we have the vision. We're ready to do the work. We're ready to um, see the change, and we're looking forward to almost an immediate change. I know that things, like I said, can kind of look a little dismal sometimes, but it's okay. There's still another day for us to dust ourselves off, try again, and keep pushing. Keep pushing. We want folks to get out there and vote, have campaign rallies, have political rallies, uh, come to the town halls, send me letters, send me emails.
Right.
That's all a part of the process.
It's all a part of the process. I thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. It's been a joy. Look, y'all, I told the little girl I need you on here because, and then not even thinking it was election going on, but God knows, because a lot of times we don't think God, like I put in the thing, we have to be stewards over what God has given us.
Hmm.
You know, just like Craig, election have good and bad, but
Hmm.
they're your choices.
Your choice. Your choice.
The majority is you can't say if it go awry, you be like, well, I thought it was, but
I did
participate.
my part.
I did my part.
I
And that's
did.
all you asked to do. Because silence is almost worse than talking.
It's consent.
You hear me? So
Hmm.
I thank you so much, Representative Jones, District 51, for coming and hanging out with me. Look, y'all, like
We
she
can talk all night.
I know. Well, stay in the background. I'm gonna be right with you, okay?
Okay, let's talk. Let's keep
Look,
on talking, y'all. Let's keep talking. Thank you so much, Chanel, for
you
having
will.
this platform. Uh, but we gotta keep talking. We gotta keep
Mhm,
talking. We gotta talk to our young people. We gotta talk our seniors. But this is, and we got so many ways to do it.
mhm,
Whether it's live streaming, whether it's Facebook Live, whether it's Instagram Live, we just got so many avenues, and I just know that with our minds together, with our hearts in the right place, that we can definitely we can make magic.
We
We can
can
make
do
magic. And I'm looking forward to it. I've seen some towns that's been completely wiped out
it. Yeah,
and they start growing from the bottom up.
right.
And what's that saying? When you're at the bottom, now there's only one way to go, and that's
And
up.
that's up.
We're
I'm
going up.
telling you, we're going up.
We're
We
going
speak
up.
that. That's right. Look,
Yeah, I like
okay.
that. I like that thing. We're going up.
We need that on t-shirts.
We're going up.
We're going up. Hmm. So y'all, thank y'all. Thank you, Representative Jones, for coming tonight. Y'all give her an applause. Stay right there. I'll be back with you. From the gravel roads, as people think we still have from Mississippi Burning Movies, is a lie. Okay. But to the halls of justice, Representative Tamika James-Jones proved that greatness can rise from anywhere, from the great Mississippi Delta, even to from California, wherever you're from, you can be all that God has called you to be. Her journey is a mirror for so many, especially in small towns and rural areas who are dreaming for bigger things and bigger surroundings, but may not want to step outside of their city, but they still can be big for their state. So listen, y'all, her story is a reminder that you do not have to leave your roots to have everything God calls you to have and to walk into your purpose. I like to thank y'all tonight for joining me. And listen, if you're from a rural town, no matter what town you're from, speak life into your city. Speak life into your representatives because they are out there fighting for you. Their voices is what's being heard from your vote. Until next time, y'all, remember we are on this journey.